Quarter one ends in favor of Celtics, but Steph found his rhythm early and kept them in the game. And starting Otto Porter basically over Looney adjustment. He basically started Otto Porter over Looney, but Draymond played center and Otto played power forward. That adjustment wasn't really successful, and it didn't necessarily have any good impact, except for they changed the way that the Celtics were playing defense when Looney came in the game. Because he came in earlier, and he came in earlier in the first quarter because the adjustment wasn't working. He came in around the 6-minute mark, and Otto Porter went to the bench. So second quarter, it featured the start of Steph and Clay, GP2, Looney, and Green lineup. That's something we haven't seen before in these finals, I don't think. And they did damage until Steph subs out, Clay comes back, and they struggle with Steph on the bench until Steph returns to finish the half. And they end the first half down only 7, I believe it was. The third quarter goes the Warriors' way, as you expect it to. It's gonna do that. It's looking like it's gonna do that every time. That's just their thing. They're the third quarter Warriors. They've been that since basically the arrival of their big three currently. But yeah, they started out. They tied the game up within like 3 minutes. Well, really, like it was really quick as hell. That's just that. Steph went off for 15 in the third again. The Celtics kept up, but Curry was just too much for them. He had so many threes, but he gave the Warriors just like an unsettling lead after the third quarter because like the Celtics they did a much better job keeping up with the Warriors in that quarter, and which is something I commend them for. The fourth quarter started with Curry on the bench, and the Celtics go on their run to take the lead back within 3 minutes until Steph comes back and he has a great fourth quarter again. After a terrible Warriors run of turnovers and giving threes away, mainly Draymond, after a timeout, and Dre goes to the bench because of that around the 4-minute mark. And I was literally talking to myself because we literally took the lead back because of Steph. He was going stupid. We took the lead back around the 4-minute mark. I'm just thinking as the commercial comes on, and I post this on my Snapchat too. I was like, bro, if I come back from the commercial and Draymond Green is in the game, I'm going to be mad because he didn't really have a good impact up to that point. When he came back, after sitting for most of the time during the clutch, they played GP2 instead, I believe. That's the lineup that did damage earlier in the second. When he came back, he was able to get some rebounds. He got some assists. Finished with like 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He played some defense. Yeah, he goes to the bench, but he comes back. He plays good. Looney kept his energy up during the time that Dre went to the bench, and he did good on OK Help D. He hasn't been doing great. It's something that I noticed during these finals. He hasn't done great on Help D throughout. He's looked a little bit slow, looked a little bit tired from the Mavericks series and the Grizzlies closeout. But I don't think that was that. They had a week off. He just looked a little bit sluggish earlier, but he did good on Help D. He hustled for the ball, grabbed rebounds, played defense, and he stayed physical. And that was their main reason. That was one of the main reasons they won that fourth quarter and was able to win the game. And along with Andrew Wiggins, he should be praised. They both of them should be praised for the game for performances. If we're really pointing out who all should be praised, obviously you got Steph who dropped 40 and 10. You got Wiggins, Looney, and GP2. Poole had a great stretch in the first quarter, going into the second quarter, I believe, but he didn't really do anything after that. But yeah, those are the people that should be praised in the game for performances. Obviously, you can throw Clay in there because he hit like 3 clutch shots. He had 8 points in the fourth quarter. It was big. So you can throw Clay in there too because he didn't have a horrible game. But obviously, the Steph dropping 43, 10 rebounds, 7 threes, 4 assists. That's just pure greatness, and he showed tonight why he is top 10 all time, in my opinion. He been top 10 before the series, in my opinion. He been top 10 before the Mavericks series, in my opinion. He been top 10 before the Grizzlies series, in my opinion. He been top 10 before the Nuggets series, in my opinion, because I just knew what he was capable of. Other people doubted him. Now they're seeing what he can do, and they're taking a look. They're just like, whoa, is Steph top 10 all time? Shaq said today, and he's been saying this, actually. He said Stephen Curry is top 10 all time in his book. And that's coming from an all-time great, one of the most dominant players to ever play the game. And he's talking about somebody who plays 0% like him. And he's telling you how he really feels about Steph. He says he's top 10 all time. You can't be the greatest unanimously in any category without being on the Mountain Rushmore, being top 10. And I agree with that take, Shaq. But he carried the load offensively. He was responsible for almost half of their points with the 43 and 4. Not even talking about the 10 boards he had. I mean, he just played great. Currently 3 and about a half hours away from game 5 at Warriors home. I think the Warriors are going to take it. I said in my last video that the Warriors were going to win 3 straight to end this, and I believe it. You know, Boston has a chance to fight back at home in game 6. They can do that. I mean, the Warriors are going to take it either way it goes, but I had Warriors in 6, so I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to say they finish them off in Boston on game 6. Curry's going to win the Finals MVP. Warriors will win their 4th ring in 6 straight years. And that's going to be that. So I'm going to end this episode off saying thank you to anybody that watched, anybody that listened. You can throw in your takes in the comments. I'll respond to them. Anything you want to say, I'll respond to it. Still not feeling great as I sound, but yeah, I got the Warriors winning tonight. I don't know about how much. I'm not gonna put my chips on the line for any of that, but I say the Warriors. I'm definitely taking the Warriors tonight at home. I mean, yeah. Thank you for anybody that watched. Tune in for the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment. You know what to do. Truly phenomenal, Mike. The NBA Finals are tied at